none of us are really Muslim. We've been forced to be Muslim. You can see they kind of brought Islam to our country, and we had to go.
Free Iran is free world. It's free world, not just Iran. Trust me, I'm coming from there. I know what they are doing there, and I know how they treat their own people. So when you see they treat their own people like this, just imagine how they can treat all the people in the world.
Where is CTV? Where is CBC? I've been here 20 years. I'm proud Canadian. I'm proud Iranian. But where are they? Why not supporting these crowds?
Grace with Rebel News. We are here at Dundas Square in the heart of Toronto with the Iranian community, and we are just wall-to-wall people. There's barely any space to move. It's another gathering of at least tens of thousands of people standing with the people in Iran during this uprising. So the plan today is to march from Dundas Square to Queen's Park, where there will be speeches following. We think the crowd is going this way, but there are so many people, it's hard to tell. The one message the Iranian community wants the world to hear is that they want their king, Reza Pahlavi, back in Iran, as they chant it now, King Reza Pahlavi. We'll hear that all day. Right now we're seeing a effigy of Khamenei, as I'm sure at some point we're going to hear Barak Khamenei, which means death to Khamenei, the evil dictator in Iran. This is incredible. I can't see the beginning of the march. I can't see the end. It's just thousands and thousands of Iranians and allies asking for freedom. I think that this is definitely going to be another record-breaking march for the Iranian community. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, they marched in Richmond Hill with roughly 100,000 people. I think it's going to be at least that much today, maybe even more. And I was following the organizer, looking at his stories on Instagram last night, where he was asking for help organizing and asking for 50 speakers. They wanted 50 loudspeakers. They got at least 40. I was looking at the socials of another organizer, Shermine, and she was speaking about how they're coordinating with police today, and they have at least 1,000 officers who are helping escort the crowd to Queen's Park safely. No chance for death to Canada, no burning our flag, just chance for freedom for their homeland. You know, Iranians love their host countries, whether it's Canada, whether they're in England or the States, they always carry the flag of their host countries because it's given them refuge from the place that they had to escape from, and they're grateful. The thing that a lot of people don't know is that before the Islamic Revolution, the Iranian people were much more like the British people than they are like the Arab countries that surround them. They were advanced, they were civilized, and they're an ancient people. They don't want to come here and change our way of life. They want to go home and reclaim their land. The Iranian community is particularly grateful to us for covering these rallies, for covering what's going on in Iran, because, again, there's very little mainstream coverage of this. They have crowds of tens of thousands, and people don't see it on the news. My neighbor who watches the mainstream news said she had no idea that this was going on. You know, last time I saw a crowd this big protesting, it was in Ottawa for the Freedom Convoy. It's very reminiscent. The vibe is the same. They're calling for the same thing on a different scale, of course. And it's also February and freezing, but it's not as cold in the crowd. The only other marches that we've seen this big in the last few years have been the ones carrying the Palestine flag, and they sure as heck do not carry our flag. It's really a nice, refreshing thing to see. Oh, they are turning the sign up so that the drones capture it. Oh, that's a helicopter.
We want King Reza Pahlavi. We don't want mullahs. We don't want Akhund. This is the last battle. This is the last battle. The king will come back. Will return.
Can I ask you why you wear a Canadian flag?
I'm Canadian. I'm Iranian as well. You know, I'm proud of both of them. They get together. I'm not Iranian. I use the advantage of the Canada. I'm proud of to be Canadian and Iranian. The same. It's both the same for me.
The crowd is now chanting a phrase made famous, obviously, by Donald Trump. Make Iran great again. Make Iran great again. Oh no, there's a demonstration. There's a display of victims, of dead bodies here. In Iran right now, at the funerals of the victims of the regime, families and loved ones of the dead are actually dancing at funerals, singing and celebrating, because that's frowned upon by the regime. And they're doing it in an act of defiance. Even though their children are dead, they dance and they celebrate their life as a final FU to the Islamic Republic. Did you say that you just came from Iran yesterday?
Yes.
What did you see that you want Canadians and Westerners to know?
I think whatever you see on the media, and I know that on most of the Western media you see less than some of the Iranian channels, if that makes sense. I mean, imagine a horror movie and times it by thousands. You know, people are being slaughtered, really. You know, it's a country that's been kidnapped. So, you know, it's not just the government that is not representative of its own people. It's a country that has been kidnapped by lunatics, by fringe lunatics, and people, youngsters, are being slaughtered. And so I think that was when the United Nations needed to sort of have an emergency meeting to help, rather than all the lefties saying, oh, we should let Iranians choose their own government. We want to do that, but we need help. And we don't know how many and in what way we can scream that. We've been doing that for 50 something years. So I think every Iranian wants Trump to actually attack Iran and get rid of this regime, and hopefully arrest Khamenei and his Sepah and every other, you know, lunatic that is in power. So I hope that the left could keep it stupid.
I love you guys. Just to let you know, my favorite one. That's the only one.
Oh, thank
Say
you.
hi to Israel event. Number one guy. I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for supporting us. I'm following you on Twitter. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Again, Iranians are very grateful for our coverage. For the first time, I saw some mainstream media when I was up on the stage. CBC is here. We don't know what they're going to show, what they're going to say, but for once they're here.
We want regime change, yes. We don't want any sanctions, any talk with this regime. They have to go.
So no negotiations with
No
terror.
negotiations, nothing. They have to go.
Do you have confidence that Trump is going to act, or do you think he's going to negotiate?
No, he's going to act.
Over 50,000 people were killed. Where is the news? Where is CTV? Where is CBC? I've been here 20 years. I'm proud Canadian. I'm proud Iranian. But where are they? Why not supporting these crowds? We believe in Canada and we support Canadian spirit, which is based on the culture and the diversity. We understand that. But they need to be the right and support the Iranian at this time. The government of Iran, liberals, conservatives, we voted for you. We need your support for Iran. Javid Shah, King Reza Pahlavi.
Thank you.
I just want to let Canadians know that all these years you've been lied to. Islamic Republic is not Iran. And you can see it from all the people here. Nobody wants Islamic Republic. Only Arabs or Muslims. Or, in my opinion, it's not even a religion. It's a mental illness if you get radical to it. You know, so Canadians, please support Iranians so we can, you know, get free finally.
You know, sadly, most Canadians are not educated to what Iran is and what happened in the revolution in 1979. They think that Iranians are all Muslims. What do you say to that?
Yeah, none of us are really Muslim. We've been forced to be Muslim. You can see they kind of brought Islam to our country, and we had to go. We had to go because we couldn't live. And all of us outside of Iran will be the ones who are gonna be the voice of people inside of Iran that are being silenced. So we're gonna show the world that what Iran is after they're gone.
Do you have faith that America's going to intervene?
I hope.
Is there anything that you guys want Canadians to know?
It's just that a lot of people have been killed, and the only answer is regime change, and we all stand behind King Reza Pahlavi. So I don't know what we have to do for people to understand that there's no alternative. We all have one leader, and we need to all stand behind him.
Got a little bit of a police presence over here. Here's this giant tower full of the Shah and Reza Pahlavi. I wonder if the police have a problem with that. Who brought this out?
I don't know. I just took the opportunity.
To go up there? That's crazy. We thought it was a ladder from far away, and we were wondering why the police weren't doing anything, but it's a cherry picker, so it's pretty safe. The crowd is so big that it's kind of divided off into its own different sects. There's different chants going on. We've got the cherry picker up over there. We've got the main speeches with the politicians going on over there. It really is, once again, reminiscent of the Freedom Convoy. It's so big that there are little pockets of different parties happening.
I think the politics usually people don't believe their promise, but somehow I trust Trump, and I'm sure he keeps his promise. And he said we are ready, and also I'm sure Canada and all those people that supported us, they hear us. Because Iran is bleeding now, And free Iran is free world, not just Iran. Trust me, I'm coming from there. I know what they are doing there, and I know how they treat their own people. So when you see they treat their own people like this, just imagine how they can treat all the people in the world.
Many politicians in Canada told the Iranian people, we would stand with you, and they told us again and again, we will support you, and something like this. And now we think they should keep their promise, please, and keep your word, please, and support the Iranian community. They are looking for the freedom, and they can make a better life for everyone around the world. Sure.
Have you seen much mainstream media coverage of the rallies?
Well, actually in Montreal, no. They have been so, I don't know, they just don't cover up what we were doing in there. And sometimes they even asked my friends to interview them. They did it, but it was so selective. They were just broadcasting the parts that was pleased like with them, and not the main topics that we were mentioning. Like whenever we're mentioning that the people in Iran are having His Royal Highness picture in their hands, they're not saying anything about it. They're trying to say that okay, it's just because of the economic pressure and those things that the people don't want revolution, they don't want regime change. It's just because they're getting poor and poor every day. But it's not right. Like you can watch the videos, you can look at the photos. They're saying this is the final battle. Pahlavi will return, and down with Khamenei, down with dictator. So if it's not a regime change, what is it then? And this is not what the media covers in Montreal. We have had many protests in front of Radio Canada, CBC News. They show up, but they don't really do the big help that they're capable of doing.
We would like Prime Minister Mark Carney to help support the Iranian people. There's a lot of Iranian Canadians who would wish that there would be more support from Mark Carney. I know that the government has placed the IRGC as a terrorist list, but there needs to be more enforcement actions within the country so that they can catch and deport these people, because it's very harmful for the Iranian community that's also here and back at home as well. So we hope that he will step up more and help the community out.
Sharmine, you are an organizer. How do you think the event went today?
I think it went really well, but it took a lot of work to get here because, we were planning to break record numbers of the 100, 110K as you were there in Richmond Hill. But we wanted to do an even better job just because, we're so honored that the police, law enforcement have really seen that we are different, that we are, we're all about what is best for Canada, what's best for the world. And of course, in Iran, sadly, these people are being shot, in close proximity. They're on their front lines, right? Here we have a privilege as diaspora where we can just spread the word.
Yeah, the first thing that I want to talk about is my good friend Ruzbe Sinaki, a professional goalkeeper playing for PAS Hamadan, was brutally arrested a couple of nights ago, and his family heard nothing going to just, look for him, but there's no response. I understand he did nothing, but because he was just uploading some stories and posts asking for the basic human rights, and he was brutally arrested. My message is to my friends in Iranian soccer community, the professional players, national team senior players, Payam Niyazmand, Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh, Omid Nurafkan, Reza Shekari, all these first team senior national team players, stay on the right side of the history. Stay behind your people. It's time to show there. Nothing is important right now. No soccer, no goal celebration, nothing, just the people. The second message that I want to send is to pro-Palestinian or activists, human rights activists or supporters. When there is no Jews, when there is no Israel, nobody's there. Everybody is just looking away from us. I want to talk to them. I was raised and born in Iran. I lived there 18 years. I understand every money is being taken ever since by Islamic Republic investing in Syria, Palestine, Lebanon to just secure their spot and their power. My message is, if you are from Palestine, I have players, little girls playing for me. If you are from Palestine, stop being brainwashed. Come on the right side of the story. There's nothing wrong. My government is corrupt. The regime is corrupt. But we Persians love everybody. We love Jews. We love Palestinians. We love everybody. There's nothing wrong to coming out, express your emotion, talk about Iran and what's going on the streets in Iran. I have reliable sources. 14 years old soccer player from Saipa was shot in the face, in the head. 14, 15 years old. This has to be stopped. And lastly, I just want to talk to world leaders. If you can't, because of your power, because of the lobby that you have, because of everything political situation, we understand, at least support us. I just want to appreciate from Toronto Police and OPP and you guys for coming out in this cold weather. We really appreciate that. And I hope the day of victory, we celebrate it together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We had another huge turnout in Toronto with the Iranian community, standing in solidarity with the people back at home in Iran during this uprising. From Dundas Square to Queen's Park, we marched. We heard speeches from politicians, from influencers, from organizers, and they're going to keep it up, assuming this continues, and we will be there to cover it. If you believe that Iranians deserve to be free from the brutal regime that has been occupying their homeland for the last 47 years, please head to CanadiansForAFreeIran.com.